Hello, everyone. I am joined with none other than Pele.
Still sick.
You're always sick. I think the amount of times you've been on the podcast sick is crazy. I think that's like majority of the episodes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's no, fuck my health. But anyway, yes, I'm here.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll get right into it. What you been checking out, or you got any news for us? Because usually me and you are the main ones that are tuned into the news feed that we usually have going on. So, anything you want to mention?
Let's see. News-wise, this is some game trailers sent over into into our group here. The same developers, at least publishers, of a game that Aaron and I like quite a bit, Deep Rock Galactic. They're making their own dark theme, more mature looking game, but it's a twin stick shooter.
Oh, Darkstorm.
Darkstorm,
Okay.
yep.
Who was
Maybe
the publisher that you were referring to?
Ghost Ship Gaming, the same guys at Deep Rock Galactic.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did Deep Rock Survivor not too long ago as well. So kind of makes sense that they were doing this, and then this was like their next game following that.
Mm-hmm.
Drops soon, apparently. Oh no, my bad. It's the fall 2024 trailer. So
Yeah.
we actually don't know when it drops at all. Looks
It's
fun.
a little bit past the fall's timeline at this point, so I think they're just a bit delayed. It's a biggie though.
It'll probably be really fun considering the fact that it's made by them. It's Rock and Stone.
Rock and Stone.
I guess my number one question is, like, that game did make it a decent amount of money, right? I'm surprised that, like, they went for... I mean, I guess, to be fair, a top-down shooter would be less in competition with your own game involving digging than another first-person shooter, or a third-person shooter, for that matter. But I thought they would have went, like, something a little bit more involved, just because their first game was a first-person shooter. A co-op first-person shooter. That's not inherently easy.
Nope.
But
Hey,
Darkstorm was cool though.
Yeah. Beyond that, hey, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna mention. Let's see, what else I put in here. So I thought the last game would be more interested of you for that spray paint simulator.
Oh yeah, nah, it does look kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Probably get some nice art going out there.
I know
I was
that.
gonna look at the trailer, but ads. So you gotta love those. I don't know how that happened.
Always love the ads, yeah.
Always
But yeah,
ads. Yeah, but
but
spray
beyond
paint's in
that,
there. That works because I mean we have Power Wash Simulator. This was just about making it look nice, but like in a different way. So it's a vibe.
definitely fits more in the artistic style for things. I just like Power Wash Simulator because I'm a little OCD. Just a little.
I feel that. Who is making Blind Fire again? That seems mighty familiar, and I remember it being someone kind of important.
Well, you see the title, a little thumbnail there. That's it looks very similar to Cyberpunk for some reason. Blind Fire,
but Blind Fire, I believe, looked really cool. I remember it looking really, really sick, because it's a video game that takes the place with the aesthetic of like laser tag filter on it, basically.
so Double 11 Games. They're the guys who did Prison Architect.
This actually looks like a really fun game. So what's weird about this is that I probably would never play this, like, just against randoms. I don't feel like it hits as hard against randoms.
Oh no!
Like,
It makes it's funny. It's fun.
Super fun.
Yeah.
In a group seems super fun. Like you just get everybody to a private match game. Super cool one. Kind of like what was the name of the game that used to Split Screen. Screen Cheat.
Screen Cheat, yeah.
Screen Cheat's very like Screen Cheat had the ability to play online with other people. Why would I? Like nothing against that game, but like yeah, like it's definitely meant to be like you're playing with friends that you know and are talking junk, and either you're all together or whatever like that.
Especially since like you'll have like stupid calls like I see you.
I know you're over there, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
So yeah,
that's like inevitably
going to
be
super cool. Very cool idea. Like we said, very much just laser tag inspired. A first person shooter with the concept that you can't see is actually off rip kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that that's going to be I hope that's successful. Actually, I hope a lot of people actually like dive into.
Well,
this and try to
Prison
play this game.
Architect did really, really well, so I'm hoping it does well as what it does as well as Prison Architect. Prison Architect was everywhere for a little while.
I know I haven't been mentioning Marvel Rivals a lot lately. With it coming out, they've been announcing like a lot of characters too. So I guess I'll like talk about both Moon Knight. The last two characters that they announced was both Moon Knight,
And Hawkeye. Yeah, and
So,
you
like-
know what other game that's trying to get for the competitive space, and it's pretty much the original progenitor of the hero shooter. Watch announced another new character.
nah, we got to talk about that. Okay, so
Yeah.
before I get into Hawkeye and Moon Knight, so here's the fun part. So obviously, Overwatch recently announced its classic mode. I don't remember if we talked about this on the podcast specifically, but I know we talked about this in passing in general.
Yeah. It
So
went back
classic
to
mode comes out literally the same month. In fact, I think it comes out 2 days before Marvel Rivals in genuinely what seems like an attempt to stop it, and it's supposed to be going all month. I just find a lot of the wording for it to be really funny because, to be fair, most people. First off, we got to talk about how weird it is that like, it's called Classic, right? It's called Overwatch Classic.
Yeah.
I feel like for a thing to be a classic, it can't be gone for like 2 years, right? Like, just off rip. Because to be fair, as much as people might be like, "Oh, look, you're playing Overwatch when it first came out," right? That's been the game until like Overwatch 2, which was actually 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure at this point, maybe a year and a half. So like, I kind of look at that and kind of go like, okay, I mean like, sure, you could put in the mode that like basically undoes everything you did about this game, making the fact that it's Overwatch 2 absolutely pointless. But like, sure, because like that's the whole point of Overwatch 2 was supposed to be focused on story. You got rid of that. And then it was supposed to be the 5. You shrunk the teams down to 5v5 instead of 6v6, so that it changes the comp. And now it's just being like, hey, you wanna play the old version, right? Now, some of you might be looking at this being like, oh yeah, that's awesome. I get to play the old version of it. Now, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna fault you for wanting to play the old version of that because, to be fair, the game was fun back then. Like, that's kind of the deal. Not a lot of people have been happy with a lot of the patches that have come out since the launch of the game. So, like, I don't know what to tell you. From what I understand, from what I understand from, like, a community standpoint, though I do not speak for everyone in the community when I say this, my understanding is that there has been something weird or wrong with every patch that has come out since the initial launch of the game. Like, they've always done something that kind of pissed people off a little bit somehow. And I don't know how they did that. Where every patch is not a great patch. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have any crazy things about it. I think the worst thing they ever did was, like, the Mercy, like, nerf.
Yeah, the Mercy rework where she couldn't. Yeah, but that's the thing I was going to bring up a bit about money. Is so Overwatch Classic is not just the like return back to 6-player.
It's all the features back of what like the stuff that they patched out. So old Mercy's back for those that want to play it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, me and my screaming medic again of Eagles playing it. I haven't done that.
So
in
like
years.
that's one of the things. I just found it so weird that it was just like they reworked her and then it's just like, oh, she's just not as good. Like she can res people more often, but like the team res was kind of the point, right? Like it's the kind of thing that changes the game when you go like, nah, everybody's back up again, as opposed to I'm gonna get you back up, and then I'm gonna get you back up, and then you're gonna get up eventually.
Remember, it was 30 seconds per res. That was the whole.
Exactly. So it's just like, hi, well, that's not as good. You can get one person back in the fight, or you can get the whole team because it's supposed to be an ult.
Yep, and that's why it was such an important detail, especially since like the whole team res, especially during a massive push, is such a game changer. They're like during the middle of a match, like it just changes the tide so hard.
Let's go! You just
it makes people get hyped and like it makes people really excited to see stuff like that. But it just I know how like expected of it is because if you know your team or has the opposite team has a Mercy, they can just pull this at the very last second. So you need to laser point in and kill her before she does that.
Now, what I wanted to get into is that there's some nitty gritty about the wording on how they've talked about this, which it seems like it's supposed to be, and I've been looking into it specifically. So, credit to Castle Super Beast for initially like catching this, because they talked about it, and then I did my own research. I was like, okay, like, is it actually that smug? And I looked into it and was like, oh yeah, no, the wording on this is like kind of smug. It's like weirdly smug. The way that they're talking about it is like they're letting you go back and see how it used to be, so that you can appreciate how the game feels now, even though most people don't like the game now.
Nope.
I think the coolest thing that they did in the reworks is that they made the game faster, and that's about it, right? Like in the complete rework of everything, I'm like, yeah, no, that was probably one of the better things you did. Everything just comes back faster. You're able to just do things a little bit more, and I think you could have did that with the 6v6. It's still been fine, but you know, whatever. But it's the idea that they're like, the idea is that obviously this will make you see this and like appreciate how far we've come with Overwatch. And I think the consensus for a lot of people is like, bro, I get to play the game I liked again. Damn, that's crazy.
Which is the idea is like, because both Overwatch, Apex, and Fortnite are, well, Fortnite's permanently bringing back OG mode, so they're going to go back to classic stuff.
That is another thing I wanted to mention too, is it's a little weird that a lot of games are doing the whole like, oh look, it's the classic mode. And you're like,
that's why I think it might be like, is this collusion or they're just an open secret? Because like the timing of it all seems very suspicious.
The funny thing about Fortnite OG for me is that I didn't play Fortnite much during the original seasons. Like I played the base game Fortnite, like the original,
the base building zombie defender stuff.
Yeah, and then I touched the battle royale. But going back to that, just as a side tangent, I don't see what everybody is super, excited about, because like, yeah, I don't have the nostalgia for it, but I've also been on that map. Going back to that map, I'm like, this map is awful.
The original. It's not the original map that people like. It's the idea of like all having the original abilities, because remember they added in and took a lot of things out over time as time goes on. Oh
yeah, but like having that, like, going back to that map with like the ability to run and sprint and do some of the things you're able to do is a better feeling for that map overall in general, because you couldn't do any of that before. But at the same time, I'm also looking at it going like, this map was trash. This map was like so nothing. And like, granted, they're spicing it up by adding new stuff, right? So like right now we have Ice Spice and Juice World sitting out on the cusp of wherever, mountainside, pushing out. He looks like an entity. It's kind of weird. Like the model for him is not bad. It's just how they got him, to me, feels gives me weird vibes. Because I know Juice WRLD's dead, and it's their attempt to pay respects to him.
Yeah, but, that's something I mentioned, and it's a bit dark. But it's like, oh no, they finally put a dead man in Fortnite.
I did think it was a little dark. At the same time, I was like, eventually someone was gonna give them the rights to do someone, right? So like, I figured at some point we were gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised it's someone like that recent, because it's kind of expected. It's just
it would have to be someone that recent. Either that or someone like Biggie or Tupac, like someone so iconic that like.
I know, but I don't know if
there's. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Michael Jackson's more likely. I don't know if the estate would want someone like that to be tarnished to like a video game, but because I figure like since Juice WRLD's more recent, he's more accepting of this.
Especially considering how Biggie and Tupac died. Like maybe not them. I would love 50 Cent. Can we get 50 Cent just because? Because that'd be funny.
He wants to sell his likeness, and sure, 50 Cent makes sense, though. Make sure he has a higher health pool, because, he did get shot 9 times and lived.
Oh, yeah, he lived. he should just off-rip be more tanky than everybody else in the game. But, like, okay, we're going on a slight tangent, like, moving away, but I will circle back. It's like, it is a little weird that Juice WRLD's in the game, obviously, just because of the a little bit more darker aspects of them using the likeness of dead people to put in the game. That being said, I think out of a lot of the recent rappers that died, Juice WRLD is probably one of the better ones they could have fit.
Yep.
Because honestly, out of most of the recent ones, Juice WRLD, from what I understand, wasn't a bad person. He just overdosed.
He
just did
overdosed.
drugs.
Did a lot of drugs and like, hey, that sucks, but
And
that's
like
a lot of people's deaths.
that's not
Yeah.
great, right? But like that's
Yeah.
not like there's a lot of artists that do a lot
He's
of
not
drugs.
he's not a piece of shit, which is
Yeah.
kind of
Like,
hard
that's,
hard
me,
to
that's
find
way better
nowadays.
than like X. XXXTentacion being in there is kind of a little disrespectful to me. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like, how did you fix? Not only is he dead, but like that dude was trash. Like, how are we putting him in the game right now? Like, why are we giving him this kind of respect? So I give him credit for like doing what they did with Juice WRLD. It's just weird that he's like off on the side of the map, looking like a crazed like Cthulhu entity, just sending out vibes. Apparently they heal. It's cool, but it's just he sends out like vibes that are his song. That kind of like his songs that hit you when you get to certain parts of the like the beach, which is like a cool way of doing it. But at the same time, I'm like, that's kind of weird, man. You could have just had. Ice Spice got a little house island. Could just had that. Could have just went over there and was like, oh yeah, it's Juice WRLD. Like, that being said, circling it back around to the main core topic, which is just a lot of games doing a classic mode for some reason, and obviously, the main deal with Overwatch is clearly Blizzard is copying other people, but this is also clearly, and trust me, we're not the biggest fans of Blizzard, and I'm not trying to like constantly make these ideas that there's like that they're pretty shitty, right? I mean, obviously we know from a lot of behind the scenes stuff that they are pretty shitty, but like I'm not trying to say that everything they do is a shitty decision, right?
Pretty close though.
But like this is also clearly like a ploy, right? Because it's like, oh, we're gonna put out the classic mode next to the game that is also a 6v6 hero shooter that's really fast, and a lot of people liked it based on the beta, and it has tons of fun characters that are actually way more exciting to play as than the characters they have. Not dunking on their characters, it's just that it's Marvel characters. Off rip, they are far more interesting. It's not even fair, not even close. You might have stood a chance had you put story in your game, and maybe people could have been like, I like what they did over here a little bit more. But you didn't. You just have a bunch of lore, and like these guys have like decades upon decades of history. You have nothing to, and they have a story. They said that they're putting a story in the game. They're doing literally everything they're supposed to do, but right. And so I'm looking at it going like, Dad, that's real crazy that y'all decided to release the 6v6 mode at the same time. And obviously the idea is, if it does good enough, the classic mode might just come back forever.
Yep.
And it probably will do good enough that they just keep it, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be good for the Overwatch community. I'm not going to lie. The ability to be able to play both would be good for the Overwatch community. What's not good for the Overwatch community is Marvel Rivals is literally 2 days later.
Yep. Oh,
And these new characters looking kind of sick. So I don't think we got to talk a little bit about Psylocke. Psylocke also got announced. She was like one of the first ones to get announced, right?
Yeah.
So the craziest part is that Genji is like locked into two of these characters off rip. The most unique one actually is Moon Knight. So Psylocke, I'll quickly do her ability. Psylocke is she's Sombra and Genji mixed together, like actually straight up, like that's the deal with her. She can turn invisible. She has the ability to do quick slashes around the environment, and I think she could teleport. Which, off rip, she's ganking people for sure. Her ultimate lets her slash everybody in a specific area and then dip out. It's kind of cool. Oh, and she gets like she actually has the Genji shurikens, right? Like so she does like psychic shurikens, but like instead of it being like a little burst like Genji does, it's a shotgun, right? Yeah. Like she just and that's kind of cool actually. It's really good for her getting in close, and it works out for her. So it's like I think like Doomfist's little shotgun thing that he has, but it's like he's right there. Works really well. She's gonna be really good at getting in and getting out. If you liked playing somebody like Sombra and like Genji, because there's a lot of melee characters in this game,
which is cool.
Yeah, I really like it. Like Spider-Man's a melee character, Magic's a melee character, Venom is not, but it feels like he is.
You think someone that big would be?
I think Thor is, and then he powers up, and then he can shoot projectiles. Is the deal? Hulk definitely is. I'm trying to think of who else, but there's like a couple people in there that's going to be slowly making their way. That's going to be kind of crazy.
Wolverine, because Wolverine only makes sense.
Yeah, Wolverine is on his way for sure. So Wolverine's going to be a fun melee character when he gets in there.
I mean, as a default, because like I can't imagine him throwing something.
But the other thing is, so like, based off her kit, really cool, right? I was like, cool. They gave her a nice little ninja fit. Obviously, it's Psylocke. She looks really cool. She looks like a Kunoichi, actually, specifically in this rendition. We'll go in order. The next one, and actually the most interesting one, I'm not gonna lie, because Moon Knight's got some weird stuff going on with him. That's like,
oh yeah, Moon Knight is dope.
So not only is Moon Knight just like that guy, right? They kind of personified the idea of random bullshit go by saying like, hey, look, so here's the deal. Moon Knight throws out these like he throws out his little moonarangs, right? Throws out his little stuff. They can bounce off people sometimes. Okay, cool. So here's the deal. He can put down his Ankh. And it's like, okay, you put down the Ankh. If he shoots the Ankh, and if you're just in the range of the Ankh, it's hitting everybody in the range of the Ankh. So if he's just chilling in the back, throws that Ankh over there, and just doesn't have to hit you. He doesn't have to worry about hitting you. If you're just there, in the circle of the Ankh, random bullshit go. He just throws it out and it's just hitting you guys. He's like, all right, you're just gonna have to eat that. And in a group fight, you know how in a group fight with melee characters, you know how difficult it's gonna be to deal with a Moon Knight who could be. He doesn't have to be. Who could be posted in the back, just yeeting stuff at this Ankh that he threw on the point because he's like, why do I have to get on the point? I can just hurt people from back here. I can hurt everybody on the point from back here.
No, that Ankh is a little broken, not gonna lie. Especially it's a great control point method as well as a choke point method.
It is. On top of that, the Ankh does have its own little gravity. It's easy to break, right? But it pulls everyone towards the center so that more people get hit with the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, and if people's like, I'll just try to avoid it. You have any idea how easy, like, if you're not paying attention or too busy, that's gonna just suck you right in?
For real. On top of that, because the Ankh has a little bit of gravity, it's sucking you in, and he's throwing these. His ult just covers an area. So the ideal combo for him would be to throw down the Ankh, tap some people a bit, and then when they realize what you're doing, you summon your ult on top of them, which summons massive fists of Khonshu to slam down onto the ground. Multiple massive fists. Like, it's not like one giant punch, right? But a bunch of fists of Khonshu to hit the ground and essentially hit a little meteor shower, hit a bunch of people that's there. And that's big fun. He can also glide. That's his traversal thing. He can throw out his cape, do a little moon thing, and he can glide around the environment that way. So that's gonna be interesting for Moon Knight. I was looking at that going like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's gonna be tough to deal with. I'm Spider-Man. I'm a Spider-Man main and a Venom main. I'm just like, I could probably deal with this as Venom. I'm gonna have to really look out for that as Spider-Man. That boy is squishy. I'm gonna have to really look out for that.
I'm gonna have to be a Spider-Man main as well, mainly because I want the Amazing Batman skin.
Funny thing about Spider-Man though, he is a lot of people have compared him to Genji. He's actually technically Doomfist.
Because he's a dive character, goes in and
he's a squishy Doomfist.
Yeah.
He's meant to be he's an harassing type, but like he's specifically meant for you to like zip behind enemy lines, punch, do the Doomfist stuff, and then get out. It's like you do your little hop in, kick somebody in the face, do an uppercut, kill somebody off that, leave. Do not stick around. Just don't bother. And I thought that was kind of sick. Now we go to Hawkeye, who, I'm not gonna lie, they had the potential to make one of the cheapest characters ever. And they avoided what I thought they was going to do, and it still feels like they made a cheap-ass character. He is very, okay, so I'm not going to lie. Hawkeye is for people who love to snipe, but there are so many people in video games that like to snipe in general that I expect that this is going to be a problem. That being said, the deal with Marvel Rivals kind of has the same deal with Marvel vs. Capcom, where if everyone's kind of busted, no one's busted. And that sounds wild, but here's the deal. Because, like, most of everyone's kits seem to have something that makes them kind of like, wow, that's ridiculous, right? So, like, Moon Knight's thing is the Ankh. Obviously, I would say for Psylocke, her invisibility is going to be really good because of the fact that she can ambush you, and then by the time that's done, I'm pretty sure her slash attacks reduce the cooldown for her invisibility. So if she could just hit a couple people and then or just hit one person, to be honest, she's already reduced her cooldown. Dip off, turn invisible, you'll never catch her. Done, right? And then on top of that, she, like I said, she does get a teleport, right? Pretty sure. I don't know if she just gets it off rip, or I know she gets one with magic. Like she gets a team up with magic where she could use that as a teleport. So off rip, she's escaping, right? She's gonna be really difficult to catch. Hawkeye, on the other hand, I think the most busted thing about him is his ult. Now, how he works though, I'll get into his ult in a bit. Hawkeye is a sniper character, like we said. He's using a bow. They introduce what I consider to be one of the most interesting sniping mechanics I've seen in a minute, which is he has, obviously, you have the drawback on the bow, right? You do that. Once it gets to a certain thing, maximum charge, you pop them, right? You get maximum charge, maximum damage off of that. Now, if you keep your reticle on the target, wherever you're trying to hit, and obviously in that game, everybody's moving around, but if you can maintain that, the arrow gets an extra buff, and you can murder people. I watched this man one-shot a Venom with that shit, and that dude's a tank. I was like, oh, it's like that. Now, granted, it's if you can maintain accuracy on the person to begin with. So when you start drawing the bow, is the person you're looking at in your sight the entire time. And when you hit maximum, like reach on it, it should also fill up that meter, which will give you, perfect timing. But that's purely if you can manage to keep like an eye on your target the entire time.
So that's the thing. Like I think the biggest target for that would be like for big slow heavies, if there are any players.
Yeah. So like, unfortunately, Hulk and Venom and probably Doctor Strange is a tank, but he's not like big body, to be fair. But yeah. Penny is probably gonna really suffer from them. Like all those characters do have small heads. They kind of like have their heads the same size as anybody else, but like they're big body targets. So as long as he can keep
as long as aim on them, there's have to be a headshot. Yeah,
it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot, right? And even if he doesn't get you with the headshot, you getting hit with that sucks. But obviously, it's a skill issue if you can't, right? Like, so we're gonna see how that plays out. He also has a scatter arrow he can do at close range. It basically switches it so that he's doing like explosive shots to hit people near you, so like he can swap back and forth.
I figured they were gonna put something like that in because a lot of old Hanzo mains complain like, "Oh, there's a shatter arrow."
Yeah, no, I didn't even get to tell you this. Here's the best part about, because we're gonna get to it in a second, but here's the best part about him. He's what Genji was supposed to originally be. So, little known fact about Overwatch. I mean, actually, I say little known fact. Some people might know this, but Hanzo and Genji were supposed to originally be one character. That's Hawkeye. I'm not kidding. You're gonna see as I tell you about the rest of his kit. So obviously he has a piercing arrow that can punch through walls. Like it's basically the ult from Overwatch that I just stated Hanzo has, except that it's not an ult. It's like smaller and it just shoots right through. Right? It's not like it leaves a giant dragon that sits around and hurts you. It just punches through and that's all it does. The next two things he has is he takes out his katana from his Ronin days, and he can slash, and that slash will knock back people, right? The knockback is pretty good. It's actually kind of crazy. If he hits you with it, you're kind of flying. You're probably going to see a lot of kills feeds with, basically like highlights of people like sniping somebody, sniping another person, somebody runs up on them, they slap them, they fall off the map, and then dude does his ult and pops everybody after that, or something like that. You're going to probably see that exact combo. I'm calling it now. um, but besides the fact of having the knockback, he has a parry that's straight up Genji's, where if people are shooting at you, he does the deflect. He does the deflect, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. It's literally both of them. It's what they were originally supposed to be, and it's crazy to me because I'm like, okay. So Overwatch split them up because they was like, that might be a little too strong of a combination, right? Like they couldn't figure it out. We're looking at Marvel Rivals just being like, okay, just put him in.
Yeah.
Put him in.
And that's the thing. Like I was
yeah,
I think that's why it's going to be interesting to see if they attempt to balance the game, which I sincerely doubt.
We probably will get balance changes. I don't think it'll be balance changes in the same way as like Overwatch, right? If anything, we'll probably get balance changes that like either it has to be someone that's like a problem, right? Yeah. So like people were looking at Jeff the Shark being like, Jeff the Shark is OP, bro. He could just run off, and they're like, okay. He can just run away with the whole team if he hits it right. It is supposed to be an ult, which to be fair, it's an ult. Like if he hits it, it's supposed to be game changing. So, maybe reduce the time how long he keeps it, so he can't run to the other end of the map to spit you out, right? Like maybe if you're just on a point that has the ability to spit everybody out, like Asgard. I think it's like the second stage on Asgard is like that, where it's just like the main point is like right next to the right next to an open like window where it's just like, yeah, just spit them out that way, bro. Just scoop them out and spit them out. And I'm like, that makes total sense. And then on top of that, there's a bunch of flyers in the game anyway, so even if he did it, like they might not be caught in it, and B, even if he did, they can fly. Spider-Man and Venom can web sling. If you spit them out, they can just get back. There's very few people, which kind of makes Jeff the Shark's ultimate not as crazy as people make it seem. Like, granted, he can hold you in his mouth for like more damage, right? But like, I think that's planned. They assume that like if he holds you at the very least, it's enough to start wiping out maybe some of the small ones, and like the tanks will live, right? But like this ult is crazy to me. So, obviously the deal with Hawkeye is that he never misses.
Yep.
I thought they were going to let this man get an auto bow where he just auto traps people, right? Because that makes sense. Nah, I thought we was getting... This dude sees after images of everyone that is an enemy. And if he shoots those after images, you take damage, and you leave a lot of after images so he can just shoot. Yep. And I'm just like, that's kind of wild, right? He just doesn't have to hit you anymore. Like he can just hit where you were,
and which is like that's even more impossible to keep track of.
I'm like, yo, how do you fight that? Like that's kind of crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. Super cool. I saw that and was like, oh, what a brilliant idea for that character. I'd never considered that. That's so fucks. Because those after images do not move too. They sit right where you left it, and you can keep moving. But he's just gonna shoot at where you were, and I'm just like, oh, that's low-key not fair.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to eat that if he's like.
So, like, if you're really low on health and he just shoots your after image, he can just kill you. Like, that is busted as hell.
That's so busted. If all he has to do is activate it at the right time, and even if you were trying to get into cover, yeah, no, it don't matter, bro. He saw where you was, and that's all he needs. That's all he needs. And then on top of that, he can, if he wanted to. The other thing is when he does this, that focus meter we were talking about is also like maxed out during that time. So as long as he draws a full bowstring, I don't know the percentage of the damage you take. He's doing more damage to you off rip. I don't think you're getting max 100% damage if you hit your after image. I think that's because his kill feed would be crazy if that was the case.
Oh yeah, that was the case. But that's the thing, like if it's enough and he's already like low on the team, if they scatter after a big clash, then he can pick them off like as they're running away.
For sure. He could just pop everyone for a good like couple extra like HP.
Yeah, that's enough to get him off over the edge, which is insane.
And I'm just looking at it going like, that's gonna hurt. I can see it. I can see that would hurt real bad. That's just gonna suck.
You gotta take the L's, man. Oh man, it's gonna be interesting seeing how that game works.
Bro, I thought it was gonna be hard work playing the Spider-Man before. Some of these characters got me being like, bro, I'm gonna be on my fucking toes.
Well, me as Adam Warlock, I should be able to try to keep you alive.
True. He could heal me back. Adam Warlock is one of the best healers. Mantis is really good. Rocket is surprisingly also really good. He's a support too. Jeff the Shark is the boy. I think his healing could be a little bit stronger, but he has a lot of ways of healing you, so it's kind of weird. Like, I want to say he could be a better healer, but it's weird to say that when he has when two of his abilities are dedicated to healing you. Like, he can throw down little bubbles that anybody can pick up. Like, basically, he just throws out health items that you can just grab, and then if he sees that you're really struggling, he can just shoot out a beam of water that just heals you. So I'm like, I don't know, I feel like he's got a lot of healing going on. I'm not really sure how to make that better. He was like, I was just looking at that and I was like, yeah, no, he can do it. If he really needs he's like, look, I need you to stay in the game. But that's gonna be a fun one to mess around with. I can't wait. Apparently we're gonna be 33 characters by the time the game launches.
So oh wow, that's a lot of heroes. That's gonna be interesting combos involved with it too.
Let me phrase this better. So I don't know if it's 33 heroes on launch exactly, or if it's 33 heroes by the end of the first season. Which that is a different statement. But 33 heroes either way in that game off rip, it's nice.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's already beating Overwatch off rip.
Well, Overwatch has how many characters at this point? I think it's past 30 at this point.
Is it past 30?
Let me just check.
Because I'm actually curious myself.
41.
Okay. Well, they're cutting it close off rip. They're getting real close on launch because they didn't launch with that many people.
Oh, no, definitely not at launch. No, that's 41 at total. Overwatch when they first started. That's okay.
I can't even remember everybody that's in Overwatch for it to be 41. I mean, I believe that it's 41.
Originally at 21. So originally at 21 at launch.
Okay, so they're starting off more than the original launch. Like 10, 12, 13 extra, 12 extra characters. That's crazy. That's a whole extra roster that they just slid in there on top of before the game even launches. It's wild. It's kind of crazy. I'm trying to remember. I mean, yeah, there's characters like Venture that don't really get much play either. Because there's Genji, Mercy, Hanzo. There's Sombra, Ana, Pharah, Junkrat, Roadhog.
I'm a pretty decent Junkrat.
May. Who else? No, I'm already forgetting people. There's that Sun Girl that I don't remember her name, but she could shoot she got the little gun beam. I think she's Mayan.
That's Heck, I think. No,
there's a dude that Aaron plays. I forgot what his name is right now.
Oh, the Samoan dude?
Yeah. There is Sojourn. Did I say Soldier 76?
Soldier 76 was originally one of the original 21.
Oh yeah, but I'm like trying to list off everybody in my head right now.
Yeah. Well,
actually, I mean the whole roster.
Yeah, just look at the whole roster. There's a lot of characters.
40 something. 40. Is it 44 or 41?
41. There's a 41.
41 is a lot of people to remember. To be fair.
Yeah.
Moira. That's another. Roverwatch.
Roverwatch.
They added my baby Juno. I like her. She's really fun. She also kind of thick, but we're not going to get into that. I forgot about Yukiko. That's one. Yeah, Zarya too. And here, let's go. That's crazy. I forgot about Junker Queen, Baptiste, Bastion. Said Ana, Brigitte, McCree / Cassidy. For those that know, Doomfist, Diva. How did I forget about Diva? Echo. Ilari is what her name was.
Ilari, okay.
How did I forget about Lucio? Lucio, Life
Original
Weaver. I
21.
forgot Life Weaver was in the game. I just straight up forgot Life Weaver was in the game. I said more. Orisa is what her name is the other one. Said Farah. How I forget about my boy Ramattra, bro? He looks so cool. I don't remember if I said Reinhardt, but I feel like I should have said Reinhardt.
Reinhardt's one of the original ones.
Sigma, he stole he literally has the Mega Man villain's name. I don't know why. Symmetra, I don't remember if I said her. Torbjorn, I don't remember if I said him. I don't think I even said Tracer.
Oh, you shouldn't have forgotten Tracer. She's literally the poster girl.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Wrecking Ball, which is just Hammond.
And
I don't even
Paro.
know why they call him Wrecking Ball. Just call him Hammond. We know it's a hamster. Like, just call him Hammond. Zenyatta, how did I forget about you? Widowmaker, Winston. Sorry, is this really 41? This doesn't, like, scrolling through it, it does not feel like 41.
I mean, you're listing a lot of the original ones there too, but it's 41 total currently.
Because I actually listed off a lot of the new ones too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 39, 40, 41, 40, yep, 41.
Yep, 41, like I said.
That's, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, it just didn't feel like it when I looked down the roster. I'm like, this is really 41
Never
characters.
does, yeah.
But I guess I've been looking at some of them for so long that it's just like, you just really don't think about it.
No.
They've doubled the roster size and it doesn't feel like they did anything. That's not even like a, it's not even a slight against them. It's just, I guess, how like games feel nowadays. Yeah, they doubled the roster size from what they originally had, and it doesn't feel like they added anyone.
Nope.
I think that's just purely because of the fact that like it's fed to you, so like the next person just kind of bleeds into the roster. Like it's like, oh yeah, they added a Hammond, right? You're like, okay, like, they added the hamster, and then you stop thinking about the hamster, and you're like, yeah, no, he's just there.
Yep.
That's just he's just there. He's been there, right?
You know what I miss most is that like when Overwatch was first introducing characters and even some of its story with the full CG animation, but that hasn't been a thing for a while now.
Yeah, they haven't done the Pixar-esque like animations that says something about people's stories anymore. They try to do some other stuff. They branched into other styles of animation, but I don't know. It just doesn't. Some of them don't hit as hard.
No, for sure. It's not as engaging because the last one I really I thought was unique was Sigma's. Sigma was kind of dope. The latest one, since we're going into that, is since we're talking about Overwatch 2, a new character, Hazard's been announced.
Yeah, Hazard was announced.
Yeah, I
How
could
do
not
you
care
feel about
less.
him?
I
Okay.
do not care. I do not care less.
Damn.
Like have been like, I know I haven't followed Overwatch for some time. Like I have never been felt this more uninterested of seeing a character. Like wow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did see him, and I was just like, I do not care. I saw like the spike thing going on, and I was like, that could be kind of cool, I think. But then I was just like, I don't care, bro. I just don't. Overwatch has kind of burned a lot of bridges for me. I like the I'm not a competitive person. I thought they kind of wasted the potential of this world. Not gonna lie, they had a lot of really. They kind of were going for the idea of these like heroes or superhero-esque characters, right? And then just didn't do anything. Did nothing.
No story. Oh, like we were promised a single-player story campaign.
Dog, they could have just did like side games. Like, Riot right now, if I'm not, are just doing side content because they're like, hey, look, we have this MOBA. It's existed for forever. People know we have so many. We have literally a roster of characters.
Yeah, over 140 characters.
Let's just start doing some stuff. we can make a show. We'll make it the best show on Netflix right now in general, right? We'll just make Arcane, and I'm like, okay, you guys just did that casually. All right,
Yep.
I'm interested. I was like, we're gonna make an RPG, a really good RPG, just about like a bunch of just get a bunch of them together. They can be a party, clean,
So
easy.
let's make a
I'm
hack and
like, yeah.
slasher. Let's make a Dark Souls game.
They're like, hey man, you ever play Prince of Persia? I was like, yeah. He was like, well, we got a time character. We could do that, right? we just make a Prince of Persia game, right? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He also made a what's it called, a fighter out of nowhere too. It was
He's like,
real
we got a
fighter.
lot of these characters that already fight each other. He's like, how hard would it be to just make them fighting game characters? Like, it'd be pretty tough. Because the
Let's
game's
take
still
a-
not out. But
Let's stick
we
a
could
stupid
do
name
it.
on it as well.
let's stick one of the dumbest names for a fighting game I've ever seen. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I don't know. Bro, look, I love Iron Galaxy, bro. I love what they did with Killer Instinct. I like the fact that they did a really good job remaking those Street Fighter ports and the Marvel ports, right? Like they did a really good job with those. I don't know what they were thinking when it came to making the name for this game.
Here's the thing,
Besides
do you think
that,
it's Riot? You think it was Iron Galaxy, or do you think it was Riot who made that?
That's a good
choice?
point. Because besides, I'm not gonna lie. Besides that game is awesome. Like
Yeah.
I
You
played.
just hate the title. No, the title's just stupid.
Sick. That title is so stupid. It's so dumb. Bro, I don't understand why it's not called League versus Legends. I just don't like. You could have just did that, or just
League
of
versus
Legends
Legends, League of Fighters, anything like that.
anything. It's just I don't know, man. It just threw me off. It really could have just been called like LOL. Well, they probably wouldn't have called if they wanted to do the like abbreviation thing. They could have just said LOL versus. It's just LOL versus.
LOL versus, yeah.
LOL versus. It would have been a better thing than fucking
L-
2X.
no. It would call it could have been, called like LVL level, but like League versus League or Legend versus Legend.
Yeah, that could have been cool. But I don't know. 2XKO is baffling, bro. And then they have everyone trying to say it too, and I'm like, bro, why don't you just say it like double KO? Like that's
KO.
like the first thing that comes to my mind when I see that. And they're like, nah, it's 2XKO. Isn't that the better name? It's like, oh my god, you guys are
No.
stupid.
Acronyms are not. The acronyms are used for shortening things down. They don't make it look cooler. Or well, they're not supposed to be said out loud like that.
I think they're trying to get it to be text or
Make it, I guess, an easy
Tukes.
thing to put out. Like, hey, you want to get on 2XKO? Like, but people
I think
abbreviate over it.
they're
Like,
looking at how people shorten it, and they're trying to get them to say Tukes. I think they want them to say Tukes.
Tukes.
And I'm just like,
Jesus, that's a stupid. I would never. If a game was called Tukes, I probably would have like, this is a ridiculous name. At least with Street Fighter and Tekken, we just like so like which Tekken you want to fight. We'll just say either Tekken 2 or we want to be specific, or just Tekken.
I mean, to
which
be
means the latest.
fair, Under Night in-birth had Uniclear, and I don't even know what that means, but like that's people just call it Uniclear.
Or what was it, Melty Blood? Like all those acronyms.
Well, Melty Blood is not even hard. That's actually just the name of Melty Blood is just the name
No, I'm
of
talking about like
Melty
the
Blood.
the
It's
which
his name.
version of Melty Blood. Like was the recent one has like an insanely long
Oh
name.
right, I forgot about that. I don't even know how they called that. I think they might just call that one a new Melty Blood. I'm not sure.
Or like let's play some Guilty Gear. Like which one? Guilty Gear 2, Guilty Gear Strive, Guilty Gear
Well,
Xrd,
you just say Xrd. You'd be
Xrd.
like, if you're playing any, like, you'll be like, I'm gonna play Xrd or Rev 2. Like, you wouldn't even have to say, like, Guilty Gear, Xrd, Rev 2. You just go, I wanna play Rev 2. I wanna play, Xrd, right? Strive is easy. I just wanna play Strive. Because I
Yep.
just called it, yeah, like, there. And I said it.
Strive is easy, but I'm talking about the ones that are not easy. Like, why did you make it this way?
Xrd is just Xrd. Like, it's, like, you
Like,
wouldn't
what the
call it by
what
its
the
full
fuck
name.
is an Xrd though?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, it's the third X.
Third X.
It's
Okay.
well, because here's the deal. Guilty Gear is weird because and it's like a fun thing, but like Guilty Gear 2 is not a fighting game. It's like a single player MOBA type thing, right?
Mhm.
But when they kept doing certain ones, they had like Guilty Gear X, Guilty Gear Double X, right? So XX. And then instead of having the triple X on it, they said X and then put the RD for third.
Because they know what XX typically means.
Yeah, so it's Xrd, and like honestly, I looked at that and was like, that's pretty smart. Like logo wise, I'm like, it's pretty smart. I like that actually. That's kind of nice. But I was like, that's not bad. Which is weird. Like, yeah, for sure, I can understand where you could look at it and go like, what the fuck is an Xrd? And then you look at it and go like, oh, it's the third X game. Okay, I got it. I see. Strive had the whole 5-4 thing situated where it's like Strive, skill to your Strive, and it's like IV all over the place. And I think all of our games kind of reached the same thing. They kind of reached the 5-4 era where we're getting a lot of Vs.
Yep. Thank you, Batman v Superman.
Street Fighter 6 has the VI now because it's 6.
Yep.
But that one's a fun one though. I like the Street Fighter 6 logos. But that should cover everything involving Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, right?
Yep. We went from FPS hero shooters to fighters.
To fight against. I mean, the line on that is real easy. We were talking about Blizzard, and because we talked about Blizzard, you gotta mention them. You gotta mention Riot, which is over here doing what they should be doing. And then it's just it's a clear shot right to the fighting game right from there. It's like I feel like it was a perfect path. They had it all plotted out for us, man. Oh no, we didn't mention everything. They also announced that they're having a free first season. Their season 0 is going to be completely free, and those skins that we looked at originally
for Marvel Rivals,
Rivals, yeah.
Okay.
Those skins that we saw, those crazy looking cool mech skins and futuristic stuff with what we saw was Black Panther, we saw Captain America, and I'm trying to remember who the third one was.
No,
Mantis.
It
was Mantis. Those skins are gonna be free in the 0 season, so like when we start playing, there's really cool skins for us to earn off rip. I want that Black Panther skin, bro. I can't play Black Panther, and I want that Black Panther skin. I'm not even gonna pretend like I can. I'm not good at him.
Yeah. I'm gonna be interested in seeing like what's it called? How the market. I'm actually interested to see how the market system will be for like future unrelated battle pass skins and see what they use implementation for monetization since the game is free to play.
Considering that the game's monetization is going to be completely through skins, from what I played in the beta, I didn't see anything that was egregious as far as like alt colors, and then some of the later skins were kind of like easy to get, right? Like that'll probably change. I don't know if they will implement a premium currency. I assume that they will. That being said, I wouldn't mind if all the currency earned is through the game. Considering that it's going through Marvel and NetEase, it's not. I don't think it's earning your skins completely wouldn't be bad. That being said, considering that everything about this game is free, and I don't think the next season pass is going to be free, and I think that's completely fair that the next season pass is going to be free, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're not charging you for anything else. I do think we can expect, to be completely fair, some maybe a little outlandish prices for those costumes. And that's just me being cynical. We're probably going to get some outlandish prices for those costumes. Now, granted, they have a really good design team. And Fortnite is already $20 a skin. So, I'm not going to say I'm super supportive of it, but at the same time, if the only thing they're charging you for is cosmetics, I can't really complain. Because it's not like a Call of Duty situation, right? Where they're like, you pay $60 for the game, $70 now for the game, and then on top of that, they want you to pay for the battle pass.
A $30 battle pass.
And then you gotta pay for the skins that they want to.
Go for per gun as well.
Yeah, for per gun for like $20 or something, 20 or even more, right? It's not that. And as long as it continues to not be that, I really don't mind spending money on just costumes. Considering that, like, it's Marvel characters, and, like, there's a shit ton of backlog they could just put in. I'm, I'm telling you right now. Dude, I went through the beta and grinded that shit for Scion Venom. I grinded the fuck out of Like, I wanted my MVC2 Venom in my game. I did that shit. I
Where
don't
was his
mind
dedication
dropping
when
a-
Spawn? What was his dedication when Spawn was in Modern Warfare?
Bro,
Warzone?
I wanted to, and then at the same time I was like, I don't want to. Like, what happened was is that like I started playing Call of Duty and I realized, oh right, I haven't liked a
I
Call
like
of
this
Duty
game.
like for real since like Black Ops 3. Maybe 4? No, definitely 3. I was not interested in 4 that much.
4 was a multiplayer only one.
Yeah. No, I was not interested in a Black Ops game since 3. Black Ops. Well, not introduced in a Call of Duty game since Black Ops 3.
Last like official Call of Duty I actually bought at launch. Well, I didn't buy it. Gabe bought it for me.
I'm just like, I was looking at it being like, so I mean, I started playing. I was like, bro, I just don't like it. I just don't like this game. And then on top of that, I saw where it was in the battle pass, and I was like, oh man, I have to play so much just to get to this skin that's gonna disappear the moment I stop playing Call of Duty overall, which it'll disappear the moment I get the skin.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna want to play it anymore.
Yeah.
It's like,
But what if they drop someone else you like? I don't. What if they drop Miles Morales in there for some goddamn reason?
they're not dropping Miles Morales in that game, bro. He's already in Fortnite. They'll probably drop more of him in Fortnite, honestly.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, we're gonna get a version of him probably for Battle Rivals, even more so.
that'd be really nice. That's okay. I'm not gonna lie. I understand why we don't have him yet. I really want to see him specifically, only because of the fact, and people might be like, "Bro, we got Spider-Man and Venom." I'm like, "Nah, you don't understand." And this is been my biggest gripe with Marvel video games lately, as well, in general. When they make their roster, I don't feel like they give enough credit to certain characters. Miles being one of the main ones. Yes, he's one of my favorite characters, right? But like, from a design perspective, Miles Morales should not play like Peter Parker at all.
Oh.
There's so many cool things you can just do with just the Venom powers alone. Not even mentioning the fact that Home Dude could go invisible, and now he's got swords and a Super Saiyan mode. Like, they shouldn't even be the same class. Like, I'm not saying that like he's got to be like, you gotta. I mean, like he can be the tanky Spider-Man if you wanted him to be, right? Like, or something like that. You can even make him a support, right? Technically, with the way classes work in that game, they'd both be duelists, right? So, but they'd play completely differently. So, at the same time, where I'm sitting here going like, and the way Peter plays in that game is nice. Genuinely, I like how he plays in that game. But like, they did the same thing with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, right? Where, where's Miles? Took you forever to announce Peter. Where's Miles?
So I just had a really dumb idea, but I kind of expected out of it, and I know some like he who should not be named would love this more so. I think you'd be fine with it as well, but I think that if they wanted to be a bit cheap about it, but it still makes sense to a degree. Different versions of Spider-Man. So we get like not just Peter, but not just Miles. We get Hobie Brown, Miguel O'Hara, Ben Riley, and all them such.
No,
But
from
they're
what
these
I can
Spider-Man, but they're
tell-
different versions of Spider-Man, so different
Well,
abilities.
so the way Marvel Rivals works is that everyone is already a different version of those characters off rip.
Okay.
So like, Marvel Rivals version of Spider-Man is specifically from a universe where vampires took over. Like, they're fighting against it currently, but like vampires are just currently running the joint. The Black Panther from that universe is specifically, which is weird because this happened in the comics, so it's a little strange to me as to where this one comes from. But my assumption is that Wakanda just decided to go into space even earlier, and so the Galactic Empire of Wakanda is like a superpower up there next to and fighting against.
So
the
that
Shi'ar,
explains why there's a like Black Panther shaped moon base on one of the
Oh
stages.
yeah, because you're fighting in the intergalactic empire of Wakanda.
That's a terrifying notion.
It's really cool. When you mess around with certain characters, they're just straight up from certain other timelines, right? So like Penny is supposed to be comic
From
Penny, right?
Comic, yeah.
So technically she's from the movie too. It's weird, because that's all technically the same person on that one, but that's the idea, right? Every version of them is just a different version, which is why when you go like, you could just add like Miles, but like it could be like on adult Miles or something, or I'm just saying like, there's a version of him in the Dark Ages that has both Venom and Carnage. You could do that one. I think there's a 2099 version of Spider-Punk as a costume for Peter, right? Like offer it, like for Peter Parker Spider-Man. So I'm looking at it going like, yeah, no, you could do some really, really cool costumes. I think certain characters should probably get some little extra love. Not to be like a costume, but to just be their own character. I feel like Miles is one of those characters that should probably get his own character slot. I don't know if Amadeus Cho should. I kind of want him to, so that we can have a different variant of the Hulk. Yeah. But I don't think it's necessary. Like I think you can put the two of them in one character.
That's why I'm saying like maybe it'll go for like a little bit like the Dragon Ball, Tenkaichi, multiple different versions of the same character, but they all play just slightly enough different that it counts.
They don't have I don't want the Dragon Ball variant though. The only reason I don't want the Dragon Ball variant is because that's a lot of characters that they just could slide in. So like, obviously, I would like to see Silk at some point or Spider-Gwen, but not both. Right? Like I don't want both Spider-Gwen. I would prefer Silk. Genuinely, I prefer Silk. She just has a different power set entirely. But if they did Spider-Gwen, I want them to lean into the fact that she has a symbiote. She does have a symbiote. Like her abilities can be very similar initially to Peter and Miles, but then like her change up mechanic is something to do with the fact that she has mask, right? Or music, right? It could be either or a little bit of both, to be honest. We haven't seen Daredevil. I'd like to see Matt Murdock pull up. Wouldn't mind if he's the version of himself that's like a hand ninja.
That'd be cool.
Or like the leader of the hand.
Oh yeah, this Spider-Gwen version of that would be like, oh, that's actually terrifying.
Yeah, like that would be really cool. But like, I want to see, obviously with the way that they're doing stuff, we're going to be seeing different versions of characters, but I'm hoping that...
Can I see Punisher War Machine version?
We do kind of have that, I'm not going to lie. His ult basically turns him into War Machine. I'm not kidding. He might as well have summoned the armor. It's literally that. Though that would be a really cool costume. And I think War Machine should be in the game. Because War Machine's not in the game. Right?
Iron Man, we know right now.
That's actually another perfect example. So War Machine should be in the game, and he should be a tank. He shouldn't play like Tony, right? Because he's supposed to be different from Tony. So like that dude should just be a like straight up Vanguard. I want him in the fray being like, nobody's getting hit today. I launched missiles out, bro. Like stuff like that. And as much as people might be like, War Machine should just operate a lot like Iron Man. Nah. Put him in because he would be different. He should be different because the way comics portray them.
Then we'll get Rescue or Ironlad or Ironheart. I
wouldn't mind Ironheart. Because Ironheart, again, should probably I would actually put Ironheart as a support. She'd be the support version of like Iron Man in that game. Because like the way a lot of her stuff works, she doesn't have to because she's also like a genius and aggressive and stuff like that. She has her little bits, but like she's been on a team in which people needed her a little bit more to kind of be that support. Whereas like Iron Man's been on the Avengers and it's like they don't need. I say they don't need Iron Man in like the slightest of terms. They don't need Iron Man as in like all these dudes are like veteran heroes that can throw hands themselves. Iron Man's pulling up to do his part. He doesn't have to support them. He could just do it to help out because they're a team, right? But he just does his part. Whereas like on the Champions, it's like, nah, dude, there was a bunch of young heroes that are together just looking out for each other. Like they're doing what they can to help out. She would be a support. I was like, that would be a cool one. And then also like the game could use a couple extra females. So, just throw some more in there. Why not?
Or maybe they'll do the like SNK route that where they just take an existing character, just make them female for shits and giggles.
I don't know why they did that to Terry, but that would be so funny.
It'd be funny, yeah.
A perfect example though, like for a skin that would I would pay money for off rip, if they put a Spider-Girl costume in there just for Spider-Man, right? Just for Spider-Man, he gets a new voice lines, right? Because obviously it's his daughter.
Yep.
But like
same movesets, everything.
Same moveset, everything. But like that cost just change his voice lines and give him a new model that looks like Spider-Girl, and I'm like, that's money. That's money on the table. I would throw that in the heartbeat. Just be like, yeah, nah, I gotta support that one. It's like, that's an easy clap. I kind of feel like it's one of those things that's gonna be like, I'm hoping that we got cool vibes. Rivals looks really cool. I'm excited, right? Obviously, I got to play it, and I'm more excited because I got to play it. Because like ever since it's been gone, it's been kind of a missing hole. And unfortunately, I don't know how certain people are still currently playing it. I don't know who I gotta talk to.
Well, you don't have to wait long, so don't worry.
Stuff I gotta do.
You don't have to wait long, man. It's almost here.
I don't. You're not wrong. But like, there are people that are still playing it. I'm just like, how are y'all still in this? What do I gotta do to get in this? I'm in a lot of the same stuff you guys are in. What do I gotta do to get in this?
They got connections, or maybe
how do I get the game?
I guess we're not famous enough either.
Yeah, no, that's the deal. Spread the love. Tell people about it so we can do stuff like that. Tell you guys about it more. We can give you straight up news about. I mean, we do give you straight up news, but more straight up news, exclusive news. It's like things that like you can't find anywhere else. You only gotta get it from us. But that's a cool one. I do see that so we'll mention this real quick. Castlevania Nocturne Season 2 got announced.
Woo! And I saw that a while ago. Jones sent me the link to it. I was like, yes!
Like let's go!
More Castlevania! Hell yeah!
Yo, I could never not be excited for Castlevania. Come on.
I needed the I needed the boost for that because I just finished Arcane Season 2.
Oh, that's fair. I need to get through that. I'm watching that with people, and thus because I'm watching it for people, my travel speed through that is low.
Yeah, I just finished the rest of the season today, and oh man, it's
yeah.
It's
so
great.
the third act did drop.
Yeah, the third act did drop. Hmm?
No spoilers. Your review.
I'm not. I will say this though, because I actually looked up later how many characters this League of Legends has. I saw 140. Damn, that's they could go a lot of different ways with this if they choose to continue on this universe.
Yeah, apparently
anyway,
they said that this is going to be the last season, and I'm
for Arcane, yeah, but I want to see
Arcane.
what else they do for other shows or other projects, because I know we got a bunch of different games and a bunch of different stuff along with it, but I want this show universe to continue just so we could so just be.
I want to see other places.
Yeah.
I want to see. Honestly, I want to see Alawi. I want to go. Well, granted, we got the game right, so the what is it called?
We still got the Sunken King. We still got Noxus, the place where Mel and Bessa hail from, because there's a few characters from League that exist from there, and I want to see the rest of Runeterra, the Spirit Realm, the Dark Realm, and all that such.
I'd like to see some of these places. So I want to see Alawi personally. I just want to see what's going on in that area with the pirates and stuff like that. And I'm not even a huge pirate fan, but I'd watch that show. That sounds awesome, especially one as good as Arcane, right? That would be really cool to just check out and just see what's going on there.
So one thing I can actually consider thinking of, if they want to do a whole cinematic universe type of scenario there, they can do it in certain degrees. One of the things I'm curious about is do you think if they ever do continue on a different project, use possibly the same character structure or literal characters that they use in this show for other projects, the same history.
I'll just have people pop up again and other. Yeah, maybe. I think that would be smart.
If we ever go back to visit Piltover or Zaun, in a new show way down the road.
Someone just goes over there to just be like, hey, look, we gotta visit this real quick. Maybe one episode is spent there before we go back to what we're doing. But that would be cool. I think that would be fine. I also want to mention the Bad Guys 2 got announced. I didn't think this was.
Because I still haven't seen Bad Guy 2, the Bad Guys yet, because I heard some great things about
fun.
it.
It's super fun. I really enjoyed the first one.
So that's okay, so they got a sequel. I can't wait to see more of this stuff then. This is dope. unique animation and all that such.
We're also getting a lot of coverage for Avowed, which is crazy. I'm really looking forward to Avowed, and I shouldn't be. Like,
Why?
granted, it's okay. So this is Avowed. For those that don't know, is a what is basically Skyrim, but like it's actually a little bit better. People are saying that it actually plays more like
It's Obsidian's version of Skyrim. Again,
I mean,
think
yes,
it's another
but the thing is that they're saying that it actually plays. It has more in common, like gameplay wise,
with Outer Worlds.
No, Outer Worlds is similar though, but like Dying Light, with the way that you maneuver and explore and like emphasis on like platforming and stuff like that, it has more like involved with Dying Light than it is like Skyrim itself. But like it is essentially Lyrian's version of Skyrim, right? Pill of Eternity's version of that. And I think that that's actually super cool. And every time I see the game, it looks really fun. And so I'm kind of excited for it. But the reason why I shouldn't be is because like, every single fucking game like this, dog, I do not beat them. Like these, like our first person RPGs, in so many ways are not for me, and I don't know why. I don't know why. The one that got the closest was genuinely Outer Worlds. I got the closest to just genuinely enjoying that, and I lost my save data for that. Had to start over and was like, I am not feeling it anymore. Like, I just wasn't. I had to start. I had to start that game so many times over, trying to get back into it, like the way I was the first time I was like really enjoying and playing it, and I can't because I got to keep going through everything I've already done, and I just want to get back to where I was. Avowed looks really fun to me. I'm gonna probably play it. I have no faith that I'm gonna beat this game whatsoever, bro. I was like, because
RPGs are big, man.
time. Skyrim. I don't even like Skyrim. I actually dislike Skyrim, but like, but every time I play, like, it's usually a Bethesda RPG. They don't sit well with me because I bounced off of Fallout 4 really bad. I bounced off of Skyrim harder than that. And those are one of the ones that like people say. I tried to do Morrowind. I couldn't get past because I was like, Morrowind's apparently the better one. Let's play that. Could not get past the character creator. That game, like, I don't mind older graphics. That game looks ugly. That game looks so ugly, bro. Morrowind looks so bad. And like I said, I'm genuinely a person that doesn't mind older graphics. I go through Spider-Man PS1 every so often. Every couple of years, I just played through that whole game, and like all the other ones, like I like older aesthetic games sometimes. Morrowind just looks bad, dude. It just looked bad. It's like I bounced off of that one. It's like, obviously, I just talked about how I didn't finish Outer Wilds. I was just like, bro, every time. I almost started. I'm letting you know this right now, but I almost started. What's the other one that you were playing? The one in Russia.
Stalker?
No.
Atomic Heart.
Yes, I almost started Atomic Heart. I downloaded everything. I was about to boot it up, and I was like, I'm not gonna beat this, bro. I don't know why I'm not kidding myself on this one. I'm not gonna get to the parts that are cool. It's not gonna happen. I don't know what it is about those games. I really don't. I bounce off of it every time. I don't know what it does. I'll mention this for Leon because he's not here. So they introduced Final Fantasy 14 mobile.
That's free to play.
Free to play, so now you can play it from your phone. That's gonna be an interesting one. Let me see what else we got. Trying to see what else is on the list. Trying to see what's interesting on the list. Everyone's been kind of excited for Wallace and Gromit. I grew up on it a little bit, but like I've heard a lot of people say, are you familiar?
Oh yeah, no, I love this. I love Wallace and Gromit growing up as a kid. The music has been stuck in my head for years.
Talk to me about it. Talk to me about this new one because it got announced.
So Wallace and Gromit, for the uninitiated, is essentially just a stop motion animation franchise that involves a eccentric inventor and his silent dog. essentially going on wacky adventures. This one is another one where it involves apparently gardening and involving an old villain from the cartoons way back when. Um, he's a penguin that dresses up as a chicken so he can steal things. He's a jewel thief. But yeah, that's I'm glad to seeing back the old animations again. It's just been they've been just so fun and iconic for me. The music, character, and Gromit is my favorite cartoon character ever because he says so much, but not saying anything at all. He has no mouth, and he just like makes it's so expressive.
He
it's
just
like,
looks.
damn.
You're like, yeah, that would do it. I think that one's a cool one. I actually really thought that was sick. Oh yeah, no. Dynasty Warriors showed up some stuff.
Yes, Dynasty Warriors
Warriors
Origins. Yeah, I'm excited because like this is actually one of the few times I'm excited to play another Dynasty Warriors game because I haven't played a Warrior game in like since the Legend of Zelda one, which took forever to play.
Hey, look, man. Look, the Switch 2 is coming out. Maybe you can actually play that at a decent frame rate. Maybe you could just play that at a normal frame rate.
Hopefully, or play something else that actually runs a bit better. But we'll see if they ever even port the game.
It probably would run pretty well actually on the Switch 2. All things considered, it's supposed to be backwards compatible anyway, so
yeah,
it'll probably run really well. I can't see it not. It's one of those ones.
Yep.
I saw another one on here I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, dude, they're adding Godzilla to Super Monkey Ball Banana
and Fortnite.
I didn't even know about that one. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Where did you get that one?
Here, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
It's a link I saw. I was like, oh, it's coming to Fortnite. Great. I said that to Zach.
They're adding it to... The one that actually gets me is the fact that they're adding it to Super Monkey Ball. It's a cute little Godzilla. In fact, while you send this to me, I'll send you this one about Godzilla so you can look at it.
Okay. There it is. Whole Monsterverse collaboration. That's hilarious.
There you go. Take a look at the cutest little Godzilla.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that. It's like super cute. And this is the one released coming to Fortnite very, very soon.
Alrighty then. Wait a minute. It's which version? It's the MonsterVerse one.
Yeah.
So not Shin Godzilla. That's a little disappointing, but it's okay.
We're not gonna get the horrific ones. We're just gonna get the Americanized ones.
That's fine. They should add the Witchblade. I'm just scrolling through. They should add Spawn and the Witchblade. Well, they already added Spawn.
Spawn they have added, didn't they?
No, they never added the Fortnite.
Really? I thought they did.
Dude, I would have the Spawn skin if they added him.
I thought you did.
They don't have Spawn in that game. Not in Fortnite.
Yeah.
I would actually own him if he was in Fortnite.
I guess it entirely depends on like
they
how.
Had a Doom guy. Does that count?
Yeah.
For what
a Doom guy. Yeah. No, that's why like how easily or how effectively can they like censor a character like that, because it would be what's it called, a lot of work to censor all the blood, gore, and well, in this case, Witchblade sexual references.
Not really. You just gotta get. Well, that's true. You can't have her fully transformed. Fair enough.
Nope. Yeah.
Because I was about to say you can do the transformation, right? And then it's like, no, that's pretty revealing.
yeah, like. That part is like, yeah, that's gonna be a no-go. Like, that's really.
Can you not do like a modest version of it? Because I feel like
no, more likely they're gonna do a modest version. But like, the idea is like, can they do a modest version that people either will recognize or is just gonna be toned the hell down?
It's just the Fortnite version of the Witchblade. I think that'll still, because that's the crazy part. I think Fortnite, like they got some really good artists there. Genuinely, I think they could do a really cool version of Witchblade. Because they did it for Cammy. Right? They made a modest version of Cammy. It looks really cool. It actually really looks nice. She has the leggings, the camo leggings on.
Yep, instead of the unitard.
Really, it works.
Instead of the leotard.
I was like, okay, that's not bad. That's actually not bad. So that's why I was like, okay, yeah, give me Witchblade. Give me Witchblade. You can do it. But you don't have you're not wrong, right? When you say that, where it's just like, they have to do a lot. Like, yeah, no, they would. but I want to see it though.
Yeah.
Because she's cool.
Yeah, well, despite how cool as you want them to be, it's like it's not gonna always end up like that. So
I mean, true, but for the most part, they do have a lot of good artists, so they probably could make it work.
yeah,
Like, genuinely just putting her in a black bodysuit and then letting the witchblade parts just sitting on top, that would actually just go hard. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that'd actually just look cool. But, I know some people would probably look at that and go, like, that's blasphemy! That's not what she looks like!
yeah. No, like people want the comic accurate versions, even though like this is fucking Fortnite. That's never gonna fucking happen.
I mean, we got a very comic accurate Spider-Man, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm talking about like for more, what's it called?
Yeah, for certain other
mature.
characters.
Yeah.
More mature stuff. But, we can always get, like, Doom guy looks really cool, and obviously we can get, like, so does Master Chief, but I would really like I think they did a really good job with, actually they did a really good job with a lot of their skins, if we're being honest, because
Yeah, no, they do a good job with the skins.
look really cool.
Yeah, they do a lot of do a lot of good work with it, but like again, like I said before, they can't do it like completely accurate to their original source material, because the reason why they do Doom Guy and Master Chief, because they do it the clean version, because it's just a image of them that's realistic and it's not overly bloody, even though technically Doom Guy should be covered in blood 24/7.
Yeah, probably. And then, I mean, to be fair, a lot of his trailers, he's usually not covered in blood.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about. He's
Rip
usually
and tear, rip and tear.
And then obviously Spawn would just work because it's Spawn. I think they're afraid of the cape, I'm not even gonna lie. I genuinely think they might be afraid of the cape. And I think that's the number one thing that stops a lot of Spawn stuff from being in a lot of different things, is people are like, oh dude, I don't think we can do the cape, man. That cape's gonna be difficult. Which is wild, because they do have capes. Like, Fortnite in general has capes, but like, they're just looking at the Spawn cape going like, nah, we can't do that. That shit crazy.
Well, they did the Doctor Strange cape. Like, what's the problem here?
I will mention this one just because it's a little late to the party, but I just want your thoughts. How do you feel about Ghostface in Mortal Kombat 1?
I like the references involved, like anything else like that, and like another serial killer type character. I know they did that in Mortal Kombat 11. It's like, oh okay, not 11 X. So we're back to that again. It's like, oh, okay, I mean cool. It's fun. I'm not complaining too much, and I like the references. There's like two Ghostface involved, because that's a reference to the first movie.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, that's kind of sick. It's also, isn't it a reference? Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but isn't it a reference to the new one?
Some references, like some kills involved, some animation and stuff like that. But like in terms of characters, because there's two Ghostface, is a reference to the very first movie, since there were two killers. And I was like, oh, you're spoiling the movie. The movie came out a while ago. Like, that's like almost 20 years now, actually, thinking about it.
Yeah, like the newer one. Well, there's supposed to be a new one that was supposed to be dropping around now, which is
but like nothing that's gonna happen in the first one is gonna, I think going to affect the new film.
That's true.
Like anything I say will affect it, because I haven't seen Screams and Scream 3, and I gave up on that series. Nothing bad. Nothing like say bad about it. I was like, I just think, it's more of the same stuff. I'm okay. The cliche has become the cliche.
That's unfortunate. But hey, it'd be like that. What I'll say is we're going to call it on this one, unless there's anything else that you wanted to mention, Pele.
No, but I cannot think too much out of it for there. Let's see. Yeah, no, I can't think of too much that's come out that's really much interest. I think the would be probably the Sonic the Hedgehog movie we're going to see fairly soon.
Oh, yeah, no, that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, that could be the only thing I can really think of. Yeah.
And I think they put out okay, I guess this is worth mentioning. So I believe it might have been the Sonic Twitter or somebody that put out recently, hey, if you're going to see the movie, please don't cheer for the girl that's about to get murdered. Just don't do that. And I'm like, fair enough.
Fair enough.
When you put it like that, because I was gonna do it, but when you put it like that, I'm like, fair enough. I will not cheer for child murder. But we are waiting for them to do it accurately, and if they don't do it accurately, I mean, like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You don't even. I mean, obviously it's a kids movie, right? So like, you don't have to see it on screen. But if that kid doesn't get shot, we gotta hear a gunshot and maybe a fade to white. Like, that's all we need. We just need to know she got shot. That's all I require, so that Shadow can be as edgy as he is.
Yep, I mean, you got freaking Keanu Reeves. He was pretty, well, early 2000s edgy, for sure.
That's true.
Motherfucker was Neo, so yeah.
That's all I need.
Yep. Yep, we'll call it here then. Thank you for everybody joining us for our podcast episode 153. Until next time, please join us on the streams.
Yeah. Let's do the usual breakdown. So, obviously, if you would like to see us on, just in general, we're going to be streaming. We stream usually now for us. A lot of times we do a lot of streaming on Tuesday. Well, no. Wednesdays and Thursdays. Wednesdays and Thursdays is what we tend to. Do we do Tuesdays as well?
Well, sometimes we do Tuesdays.
Sometimes Tuesdays.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A lot of middle of the week stuff in the morning.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll do some later ones, but like very middle of the week, stuff has been changed around. But if you wanted to watch our stuff on Paper Play Action on Twitch, that's where you would watch us. We're doing a lot on Tuesdays, Thursdays. So our coffee and gamings have been moved to those days, mainly because of the fact that my schedule has been flipped around. So Sunday mornings are no longer available.
Yep.
But that's going to be happening. We're still playing through. We're about to finish up, actually. We're really close. We're like a session, maybe.
Away from Silent Hill 2, yep.
From Silent Hill 2. We'll probably be doing one of mouthwashing that's on the docket for us as well, because, that game's fun.
Yep, Jones will be taking on that one.
Jones, yeah. He's going to have to do that. We don't know what's happening on that one. I will probably be streaming Banisher soon, just because. I know I was waiting on that one to play on stream in general, and
yep. And once Silent Hill's done,
yeah. What's their next one?
Yeah. Well, if you want me to actually piss my pants, I can play Still Wakes the Deep.
We can do it. It's up to you. Is that what you want to do?
I don't know what I want to do.
That sounds like we'll figure it out for Pele, but like he gets to take a break. He's been trucking through Silent Hill for now, so we got some other stuff coming up. So by all means, you can check us out on Paper Play Action at twitch.com, or twitch.tv actually, not twitch.com. You can also, if you want updates, because we will let you know that we're streaming and stuff like that. You can check us out on. Okay, so now we have 3 things you have to mention. So, we are on X, and
Twitter.
On the app formerly known as Twitter.
I refuse to call it anything else. Fuck
That's
you, Elon.
We're on that app as Paper_Action. We're also on Threads as Paper_Action. Now, as much as I like brand synergy, we're just Paper Play Action when it comes to Blue Skies. So, if you want to go check us out on Blue Skies, we put up stuff there. We are also just Paper Play Action as you usually find us. And if you have any questions for us, you could send them to paperplayaction@gmail.com. That is paperplayaction@gmail.com. And we will answer those here or anywhere, depending on how you want to ask us stuff. Side note, just because it's always important, if you are a musical creator of any kind and would like to send us your music for us to play as the outro on the song, by all means, do that. We'd actually like to get your stuff out there just because we'd like people to listen to it and anything like that. So, if you are doing your thing, creating nice little beats or songs that you believe are the shit, or just stuff that you want to just put your portfolio out there, let people know that you're doing stuff, you can hit us up as well. Send it our way. We'll put it out on the show. It could be an outro, and we'll even credit you. Well, I say even credit you. You're getting credited by default. We're not crediting you. I refuse to not do that. But you will get credited, and people will know for sure that, like, this is your work. We'll do even a nice little intro for it. But that being said, I believe that's everything. I think I said to spread the love earlier in the show, but I'll do it again because, spread the love. Let people know about the show so that people can enjoy the things that you enjoy, and we can do stuff like find out what's happening with Marvel Rivals a lot sooner, things like that. So we can bring that to you sooner. But without further ado, we will let you all go. So we will see you all later. Peace.
Peace.